Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of MedTech Minis. I'm your host, Susie Ingwall. And today I'm so excited because I've got Albert with me. He's the CEO of a company called Multiphze, and he has created a great product in the hematuria space. And I'm so excited about it because there have been no good solutions for this challenge in a really long time. And the one that people are using now is not even good. So Albert, tell me a little bit about yourself and the problem you set out to solve.
Sure. I'm a practicing urologist, former engineer, actually, and having to irrigate many times. And I just remember distinctly in the operating room where the nurse kept putting her hand to block me from splashing her with the bloody urine. I said, there's got to be a better way. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. And so that's when my engineering mind started, and that's where Multiphze got started from.
I love it. And when you talk a little bit about like that bloody urine splashing you, tell me a little bit about how the current process is done, because I didn't realize how bad this was until we talked the first time.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that nothing's changed. In fact, when people see our device, they're impressed, like, how come no one's thought of this sooner? Yeah, so the current system involves like a 60 cc syringe like this, where if someone has hematuria, you have to pour some solution in a reservoir, fill the syringe up, connect it to the patient's catheter, irrigate, drain, fill, irrigate, drain, fill, irrigate, drain. So this bloody battlefield develops once you're done. And when you have to irrigate 2 to 4 liters, the patient's gurney's soaked, the linens are contaminated. Now the nurses have to clean the patient up, and EVS, environmental service, has to come in and wipe the gurney down in the floor. It's just a OSHA compliant way to do it. It's a really messy way. It's hard to believe it hasn't changed all these years.
It is shocking to me, and I've seen some of the images and pictures that you've shown me of what it looks like after this process is done. The sheets often need to be changed. The patients need to be changed or moved or rotated so that they can take the sheets off the bedding. Takes a couple different staff people. All in all, in general, it just seems a really inefficient and ineffective way to deal with this issue. So tell me more about that if you'd like to, but also tell me about your solution, because that is what I'm so excited about.
Yeah, so you're right. Once someone has to manually irrigate, it becomes a mess. There's time spent just doing the irrigation, time spent cleaning, and so forth. So in our case, we actually developed a very novel system where we actually have a syringe, as you can see here, that comes with its own attached irrigation line and its own attached, drainage bag that allows you to basically connect it to the patient's catheter once, and you go through the phases of a fill, irrigate, drain by just rotating the syringe. So it has fill, irrigate, and drain. So you just plug it once, spike, plug, and play. Fill, irrigate, and then drain. So it's a really nice system. In fact, whenever we go to any of the meetings, everyone says, how come no one saw this sooner? This is genius. So we know we have a hot product going on. Yeah, exactly.
When I saw you at MedTech Innovator for the first time, I was like, why didn't I think of this? This is such a simple solution to a problem that shouldn't exist.
Right.
I love it. And the fluid goes right into that bag. It's clean. You throw it away. No more multiple people. I think you can also save a Foley catheter kit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you can actually, in our kit, a lot of times nurses will open up a Foley catheter kit and waste a 16 French bag, a 16 French catheter or 18 French. In ours, they could just open our kit between the patient's leg, drop the catheter that they want, and then piecemeal the lube and betadine prep, and they just connect our syringe to the catheter right from the start, and they insert it. So there's not even a drop of blood once you insert the catheter. You just verify you're in the bladder, and you just start irrigating right away. So it's an absolutely bloodless field.
That's amazing. I would imagine that anybody that does this procedure would want this. I mean, I can't imagine anybody wanting to do it the old way. So the good news is you're out on the market now, so people can buy you now. You're already available in certain hospitals. Tell us more about, anything you want to tell us about your availability of your product, or even your pricing and how it compares to the challenge, what hospitals are spending now that they don't even realize they're spending.
Right, exactly. Well, we are on the market, as you mentioned. In fact, we got into some very large hospital systems. We thought we were going to have to do a national trial. Three products, and we went to pricing agreement. So, and what we've noticed too is when people order, they reorder. So as long as they get in service, we see the reorders come in, and we see the reorders scale. So we know we have a product that people like and love. And the feedback we've gotten from many people is, we need more, we love it. So, it is a great product. And when you think of the cost, I know it sounds expensive when you first think of the cost versus the current system, but in our system, when you think of the procedural savings, when there's no bloody linens that have to be decontaminated, it's one person doing the irrigation versus two, and you can irrigate up to 4 liters by yourself in half the time. And in the animal lab study, we cut the time to irrigate by more than half, which was statistically significant. But more importantly, we got the spills to 0%. And so when you think of OSHA compliance, infection prevention, this is huge. And ideally, we hope to show that we reduce CAUTI rates. We haven't done that study yet, but that's on the horizon. But it's kind of inferred that when you have this closed system, there's less risk of exposing the patient or the user to pathogens, bloodborne pathogens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I am so excited about this. And, I've been working with you for a little while, and I'm going to continue to work with you. And I just can't wait to see this in every hospital. I think that it needs to be, especially when you think about the contamination issue. Just that on its face alone is enough of a reason that every hospital should be using this product for this procedure. Go ahead.
I was going to say, in fact, if they're not using it, they're really not OSHA compliant. If this is the only closed system on the market, yes, I know there's a pricing issue, but when you look at the procedural costs, it's actually cheaper. If you have to irrigate more than 2 liters, we're definitely cheaper. And most patients need 2 to 4 liters of irrigation. For instance, in your ER, if you don't have to call the urologist to come in and finish the irrigation because the nurse could dispo the patient, irrigate and dispo the patient sooner, that's huge for hospitals. And ideally, if we reduce CAUTI rates, that's a whole different savings. But even if you exclude all that, when you look at the linens, you don't have to waste or decontaminate. The time spent cleaning, the time spent to irrigate, all these things factor in. And we are a cheaper device to use than the standard old syringe that you see right here.
Amazing. Amazing. I'm super excited for this. Anything else you want to add before we log off? Oh, one thing I do want to add, you have a cost calculator on your website too. So if people want to understand that how this is actually going to save them money, not increase the cost, they can go to your website and check that out. It's great.
We have a great animated video that shows the device in use. And on our resource page, we actually have our animal lab studies posted there, as well as a great in-service video that's been dubbed. As far as Multiphze, we're ready to launch through the U.S. We have reps covering most of the large states for now, but we're ready to keep it clean in the U.S. and abroad.
Love it. So they can find you at your website, which we'll also list at the end of this video. But that's just you want to add anything to that?
Well, yes, they can reach us at info@multiphze.com. So info@multiphze.com. So, and we can send you any information you need, as well as connect you with the rep in your local area.
Perfect. You can also direct message either Albert or myself about this product on LinkedIn or any place else, but we're excited to hopefully bring this to your hospital soon.
Sounds great. Me too.
Thanks for your time today, Albert. This is great.
Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.